The mysterious object that fell from the sky has left people scratching their heads. No one knows what it is, but speculation is running wild. Some believe it could be a meteorite, while others think it might be a piece of space debris. Whatever it is, it's certainly an intriguing mystery that has everyone talking. Scientists are already hard at work trying to figure out the origin of the object and what it could be. But now it's not a mystery anymore because you are watching the unexpected. Let's begin. The first one on our list is the inhabitants of Zamora, located in the northwest corner of Spain, awoke in 2014 to a terrifying sight. Blood had fallen like rain into their quiet hamlet overnight, staining it a gruesome shade of red all around the town. The people living in Zamora wasted no time in beginning their investigation into what had taken place and why. They discovered, much to their shock and horror, that the son of Satan had risen from the dead, bringing with him apocalyptic rain created from the blood of the damned. Oh wait, that didn't actually take place. It was a type of algae. That's right, the uninteresting and common algae. The microalgae in question were not indigenous to Spain. Rather, they had become entrapped in a storm cloud which had caused the microalgae to get stressed and turn red as a result. The cloud then proceeded to empty its fake bloody contents all over Zamora as the population was asleep, creating the illusion that the entire city was covered in blood. Next on our list is... Now, for most of us living in different parts of the world, the concept of fish precipitating from the sky is somewhat outlandish. On the other hand, in some nations, this sort of thing is completely accepted behavior. Because of how common it is, people in Mexico have given it a specific name, Lluvia de Pez, which literally translates to rain of fish. So, what could be the reason for this strange occurrence? A waterspout is the most plausible explanation for why this takes place, despite the fact that there are a number of other ideas to explain why it does. These are quite similar to tornadoes, except they form over water instead of land. They pick up fish from bodies of water and then the wind brings them inland, where they eventually fall to the ground as rain. Communities in some areas, such as Honduras, celebrate these events by showing their gratitude for the gift of free food and holding a large fish fry-off competition with the abundance that the clouds have provided. Moving forward, 3. Mystery meat. Heavy rain of unidentified meat fell upon a field in Bath County, Kentucky on March 3, 1876. The unidentified meat was a mystery. The event, which was afterward dubbed the Kentucky Meat Shower, took place over the course of barely a few minutes and left everyone perplexed, particularly the 2 guys who were there to see it. The 2 men who testified as witnesses were unable to determine whether the unknown meat was mutton or venison. Another individual said that it was bear meat. Nobody bothered to inquire as to how exactly he was able to describe the appearance of bear flesh. Later, researchers have hypothesized that it could have been a particular kind of cyanobacteria that, when exposed to precipitation, transformed into a fleshy jelly. Some others believe that it could have been meat that had been regurgitated by a buzzard. Although it's possible that we'll never know, there's no way that we'll ever forget about the Kentucky Meat Shower. Next on our list is... Frogs, just like fish, are susceptible to being sucked into waterspouts, and there have been several accounts, both historical and contemporary, of frogs falling from the sky. In addition to the clear illustration provided by the Bible, the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclides Lembas described a situation in which so many frogs fell from the sky that the houses and the roads have been full of them. In more recent times, in 2005, a storm that passed through Serbia resulted in the precipitation of hundreds upon thousands of teeny little froglings. It came as a bit of a surprise that the young frogs in Serbia were able to survive the long fall. After they landed, they allegedly jumped up and started hopping away. Next we have... No, we're not referring to the groovy song by Wang Chung that was included in The Walking Dead. I'm talking about real space trash. After losing its trajectory while in orbit and beginning to fall toward the gravitational pull of our planet, a significant amount of man-made debris eventually falls from space to the surface of the Earth. The majority of the time, people aren't in danger from space debris since it doesn't constitute much of a concern when it re-enters the atmosphere of Earth because it shatters into such small pieces. On the other hand, China's Tiangong-1 prototype space station plunged into the Pacific Ocean in March of 2018 during its controlled re-entry into the atmosphere of Earth. When it did so, it caused a significant amount of water damage. Having said that, your chances of being killed by fallen debris from space are significantly lower than those of winning the lottery. Upcoming next we have, when in Port Candy not once but twice in 1987 in Lake County, California, residents got a taste of what it must have been like to live in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. The event, in which chunks of crystallized sugar measuring over 1/4 of an inch in size fell to the ground from the heavens, was referred to as a quite uncommon and curious phenomenon by author Lyman L. Palmer. Well, you don't say. And just like the people in Honduras got a fishy surprise when it rained on them, the people who live in Lake County got a big kick out of the sugary event and made syrup out of the candy that fell from the sky. Moving on to the next one. Australia, the Earth's version of Pandora's box, opened its doors in January 2018 and showered the planet with cooked bat rain. When a heat wave caused temperatures in the area to soar to 111.5 degrees Fahrenheit, the citizens of Campbelltown were forced to endure this circumstance. This temperature was 25.5 degrees Fahrenheit greater than the local bat species was able to withstand. Because of this, the bats began to overheat, which ultimately led to their deaths, and they fell from the trees. In the aftermath of the Campbelltown boiling bat rain, more than 200 boiled bats were found strewn across the ground in the surrounding area. Upcoming next we have, now this one is the worst living nightmare that an arachnophobe could possibly go through. And when you find out that it's not actually all that uncommon, it's even scarier. In 2015, tens of thousands of baby spiders were showered down from the sky onto the continent of Australia. One man from Australia claimed that there were so many that had settled on his property that it gave the impression that it had been abandoned and taken over by spiders. It should not come as a surprise in the slightest that something like this took place in Australia, given that Australia is a country that is prone to natural disasters. The same thing happened in Brazil in 2019, and I've personally seen a spider falling from the sky on a few occasions. The thought process that went into this is really rather fascinating. When young spiders get the urge to travel great distances, they will construct a miniature silk parachute for themselves by climbing to the top of a tree and wrapping it around themselves. They can be carried away by even the slightest breeze because they are so minuscule and weightless, and the silk that they spin is even lighter in weight than they are. Because of this, they will be catapulted to a new home and will glide there as they make their way there. If you happen to see any young spiders falling through the air, you should know that they are trying to relocate to a new home by using their webs as makeshift parachutes as they make their descent. Moving forward on our list. Now, anyone who lives in Tornado Alley probably wouldn't find it all that strange if they were to experience enormous hailstones the size of golf balls. If that's the case, it's a good thing we're talking about genuine golf balls and not hail the size of golf balls. This is exactly what happened in Punta Gorda, Florida in 1969 when dozens of golf balls fell from the sky. The entire event is peculiar, but what makes it even more peculiar is the fact that none of the nearby golf courses reported any golf balls stolen or lost. The most plausible explanation that anyone could come up with for what caused it? A waterspout had formed over the pond at the golf course, and it is currently collecting all of the golf balls that have been lost. Next we have, in contrast to unidentified meat, spiders, fish, and frogs, this type of rain must be the very best that the sky has ever produced in its history in order to be considered the greatest. And this is something that has happened on a number of occasions in a variety of contexts. Notes with a total value of 2 to 3 million United Arab Emirates dirhams fell from the sky onto the city of Kuwait in 2015 for a short period of time. People got out of their cars in the middle of the streets and began picking up trash as quickly as they could, as if they were competing in the championship round of the Crystal Maze. In 2017, an electrician in Indianapolis noticed that $200 had been blown off the top of the building where he was working. The building was located in Indianapolis. It was never determined during either this investigation or the investigation that took place in Kuwait City where the money originated. Who really cares about that though? Finders keepers, I say. Last but not least we have, something strange took place the day before Friday the 13th, which was a Friday. The inhabitants of 3 villages in the Anand district of Gujarat were shaken to their very core by it. The evening of May 12 saw the appearance of large metal balls falling from the sky in the areas of Balej, Kambolaj, and Rampura. At 4:45 in the afternoon, the metal balls started falling from the sky. It is presumed that they are a piece of debris from space. The metal balls have a weight of about 5 kilograms each. The Indian Express reports that the village of Balej was the location where the first metal ball came to rest. Then it started to rain in the villages of Rampura and Kambaloj. The distance between each of the three communities is approximately 15 kilometers. The locals were alarmed when they discovered the odd-looking pieces of metal, and they called the authorities as soon as they could after making the discovery. The police have opened an investigation into the matter. The authorities report that there were no injuries sustained as a result of the metal balls being dropped. The first ball dropped approximately 4:45 p.m. Ajit Rajan, superintendent of police for the Anand district, told Indian Express. Soon after, identical reports came in from two other sites. No one was hurt or killed as a result of the debris falling where it did because it landed in an open area in two of the villages, and the metal ball fell a few hundred meters away from the houses in the third village. According to Ajit, it has not been determined as of yet what kind of space debris it is, but the villagers claim that it fell from the sky. The Forensic Science Laboratory will be in charge of directing and overseeing the investigation. After that, it will finally be possible to figure out what the metal balls are made of. According to what SP Ajit stated, "We have filed a note case on the event, and we will wait for the FSL's report on it." The orbital debris report that was created by NASA estimates that there are approximately 25,182 pieces of trash floating around in lower Earth orbit. There are approximately 114 pieces of space debris that can be attributed to India. The majority of debris in space comes from Russia and countries that are part of the Commonwealth. That's all for the video today. We will be back with more such videos. Until then, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.